Hi, I'm Krishna, fashion editor of Femina magazine. Thank you for joining us for our virtual bridal show. Today, we'll be discussing how to build a timeless trousseau. And joining us today is esteemed fashion curator and co-founder of Atosa, Aparna Badlani. Hi, Aparna.
Hi, Krishna. Thank you for having me. I'm so excited to be a part of this, to be very honest with you.
Absolute pleasure for us. So Aparna, I'll get right into it.
Sure.
How do you think ceremonial clothing has evolved over the years?
I feel like there has been so much evolution in the whole ceremonial or while weddings haven't, in terms of the rituals and the functions and things like that, or the way weddings happen, it might still be the same. But I just feel overall, if you were to look at the picture from a decade ago to now, there has been so much of change, so much of evolution. I feel like there's no wedding season anymore to begin with. Earlier, like starting October, going up to Feb was the time where everybody chose to get married, and there was like this phenomena of wedding hopping that we used to do because we were going from one wedding to another and going crazy, absolutely. Right. Versus, now when there are summer weddings, people get married in July, August. There's really it's become quite seasonless, and it's not even about getting married in somebody's hometown anymore, or the bride is from here and this is where we should get married, and enter destination wedding, which is like really the new mantra of every couple that's getting married, as a matter of fact. And I just feel that it's become more about beautiful locales, fun memories, just like letting your hair down, and most importantly, like tighter guest list, as a matter of fact. Bridal wear has evolved so much. Earlier it used to be about the poor bride standing in one area like one statue, or she could barely move because her lehenga was so heavy. Versus today, when it's really about elegance, it's really about the bride and groom wanting to let their hair down. I've known so many girls who have worn keds or sneakers under their lehengas because they really want to have a ball and really want to have a great time. So I just feel that there has been an evolution in that area as well. I feel like weddings have become more thematic, as a matter of fact. There are theme parties, there are color schemes for a lot of weddings. There are his and her coordinated looks, as a matter of fact. So a lot of personalization in weddings, as a matter of fact. And I feel there are weddings that are people have become maybe a lot more conscious in terms of the environment. And in 2019, I attended a wedding in the UK. One of my cousins got married, and it was a completely vegan wedding. Everything was there was they made sure that the food was completely vegan, so much so that the wedding favors that came into our rooms, even the chocolates were vegan, as a matter of fact. So there was no dairy, for the people that attended the wedding, it was a bit, sometimes we were like, okay, there is absolutely no meat in any of the functions. It was a bit weird. But then when you think back, it was such a interesting way of doing the wedding, So I just feel that a lot has changed. And of course, who can overlook the advent of social media as far as weddings are concerned? It's really about the cool hashtags, the photo booth, what's happening now and here, and the instant gratification, the instant presence. So yes, I just feel that overall weddings have evolved and overall ceremonies have evolved in such a huge way.
So what, in your opinion, then are the sort of building blocks for, a trousseau?
I feel like a lot of girls, and I've seen, I am actually now working as a creative director, a consulting creative director at Atosa. So, I've been seeing so many brides day in and day out, as a matter of fact. And I do believe that a lot of the girls today, like, really go over the top picking up a lot of heavy Indian pieces because they think I'm getting married and I need to have like a whole bunch of heavy Indian wear in my trousseau, realizing that yes, once your main wedding functions are over, as a matter of fact, you're not going to need such heavy pieces. It's really about like maybe some lighter Indian wear pieces, which you might want to wear to like, family get-togethers or family occasions post the wedding, some evening wear or Western wear, or maybe like a crop top and skirt, like a gown or an easy evening dress or a drapey evening dress that you might want to wear on a night out with your friends, like, some saris, some draped saris that you might need to wear to a wedding that is somebody's wedding that is planned in the near future. It's really about, kind of sitting down and planning it a little bit more versus just going into it. I think it's so important to kind of have a checklist. I feel like it's so important to buy pieces that are versatile, that can be used and reused in different ways, that can be styled differently. For that matter, I just feel that, for a bride who's getting married, of course, her wedding outfit is most special. But what one can do, and yes, it is an expense at that point in time, that with your bridal lehenga, get 2 blouses made, as a matter of fact. One could be like the heavy blouse to go with your lehenga for your special day. And the second one could be like a lighter blouse that you could wear, that would allow you to wear your lehenga to another wedding, another occasion. The blouse can be teamed differently. I mean, I've worn my wedding blouse with a dhoti pant. I've worn it with a sari. Of course, I've worn it with my lehenga. So it's really about how you can maybe wear your lehenga with like an interesting shirt or just like a tunic or draped top. And, it really is about how you can, every piece that you buy you should be able to style it differently. And versatility to me is like really the key word, as a matter of fact. And one more thing that I really believe in, that today, if I've been married for 7 years, and today if I have to pull out one of the pieces that I had got made for my wedding or for my trousseau, I look at it and I'm like, yeah, I can totally wear this piece. So, even a decade later, buy pieces that will stay in your wardrobe forever, because these pieces are going to be your memories forever. It's really about what you bought during your wedding. So wouldn't you really like to use it often enough, or at least a few times, and really cherish wearing it as well?
Yeah. So what textiles, taking off from that, and talking of sustainability and, what crafts and textiles do you think, I wouldn't say most suited, but let's say your favorite picks for a ceremonial wear?
So I'm really a traditionalist, to be very honest with you. I like wearing classic saris versus the draped saris and things like that. So I think brocade would top my list. I mean, I love brocades. I love the whole weave. I love the entire jacquard patterns and things like that. So I feel like brocades from Banaras, it's basically, how zari that is woven into silk fabrics, that to me is a beautiful textile for wedding wear. Then there are different silks and silk blends, which yield beautifully to bridal or wedding wear. As a matter of fact, raw silk is one fabric that looks beautiful, when nicely embroidered, or like even a Bangalore silk, which has like a nice sheen and things like that. There's velvet, which is very popular up north. It's like a very royal fabric, looks very luxurious and regal in its jewel tones, and it's great for winter weddings. There's tulle, or which is commonly known as net. I mean, it's not a personal favorite, but net is a fabric that can yield to so much of drama and volume, and it's great for like cocktail wear and or for like reception. It takes embroideries beautifully, so it's like depending on the kind of bride. I mean, if you are someone who wants that drama, then I feel like net is tulle is a lovely fabric as well, as is georgette, for somebody who likes like a more subtle or a more matte look. Georgette is a light fabric. It drapes beautifully around the body. There's no fuss, there's no drama. Even for women who are conscious of, the way a certain fabric might fall on their body, I think Georgette should be like the choice of fabric, because it just falls so lightly and beautifully.
Something very sensual also.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So how do you think one could repurpose heirloom pieces and hand-me-downs to incorporate them in their trousseau?
So this is another thing that I wanted to talk about. Heirloom pieces that are probably handed down from moms or grandmoms, or there are so many different ways. It depends on how interestingly you can use the borders. For that matter, can the embroidery be picked up and appliqued onto a certain part of your garment? Like there are different ways. Can the dupatta be reused? Interestingly, as like today, in today's time, brides want two dupattas. One is to wear with a garment, one is to wear as a veil on your head. So can a dupatta, or can a sari, can your mom's sari or your grandmom's sari be made into a dupatta, which will also hold such a beautiful significance? Just yesterday, as a matter of fact, I was reading this article about how this girl used she had a white wedding, but she used her grandmom's entire outfit for her. Like, she just refurbished it and kind of did the necessary darning and like added a few extra things to it, but she used that entire ensemble for her wedding. I just feel that there's just so much beauty and memory attached to kind of using pieces that are a part of your mom or your grandmom, or that have been in your family for that matter.
So what accessory staples do you think one should have in their trousseau?
In terms of accessories, I feel like starting with bags, I feel like a day bag is so important. A really good day bag, as is like an evening clutch, which is slightly more glitzy, shimmery, that will work with a potli, that will work with your Indian wear pieces. In terms of footwear, of course, you can buy a whole store, or you can like plan better and have a pair of black heels, a pair of nude and gold heels. You can have some jutis, a comfortable, a pair of comfortable shoes or flip-flops that you'll wear on your honeymoon, a beach bag that you want to carry with you. I think a couple of belts are a great idea to have in your wardrobe, because they can really uplift an ensemble. The Sabyasachi belt is a classic example. It's such a beautiful piece. You wear it on anything and it completely changes the look. I think a nice watch would be a great idea. So in terms of accessories, I feel, some scarves, some bandanas, depending on what your plan is in terms of your honeymoon and things like that. All of these little things are things that matter.
So what sort of jewelry do you personally like with Indian clothing?
So I am a big fan of Jadau. I feel like it's just so raw and beautiful. I mean, it just has such a beautiful appeal on any ensemble. It can, even if it's a contemporary outfit, like a stunning pair of Jadau earrings, or like a choker or a neck piece or even like the Maharani har. It just kind of takes you to like a different, dresses you up completely differently. I do also personally love temple jewelry, because I think it's so beautifully created and so much detail. And, I love that yellowness that the gold has. So for me, yes, these are, I'm not so much of a diamond person, but yes, for girls who love diamonds, diamond solitaires are a great must have, like a staple in your trousseau. A pair of chandelier earrings, you can't go wrong with something like that. A tennis bracelet is just, these are staple things that one could easily have in their trousseau, as a matter of fact.
So in all the years of curating fashion, are there any hacks that you've picked up that you'd like to share with brides to be?
So one of the main key hacks, as a matter of fact, I would say, is that when each one of you is shopping for your wedding outfit, or as a matter of fact for your trousseau, please make sure that you tell the designer, request the designer to keep margins in your clothes, because for every single girl who's getting married, her only agenda in life is how can I lose weight to look that perfect figure for my wedding day, for my main day. And we go through such rigorous diets or workout regime to, like, fit into that outfit that we want, that, a couple of months down the line, that you're not going to fit back into those clothes that easily. So if you really want your clothes to stay with you, then please make sure that you get margins added into your clothes, because there's no doubt about the fact that you're going to have to kind of open your clothes out after a period of time. Another thing that I would suggest is that yes, we all love our heels, and women and heels are just synonymous with each other. And of course, we want to look like nice and tall, and we want our clothes to fall beautifully and things like that. But please carry a pair of flats with you. Please carry, whether you can slip into like wedges or like flats, or even a pair of sneakers that probably won't even show under your lehenga. I mean, at the end of the day, your feet need to last you through all the functions that you have planned. So look after yourself and your feet, because otherwise you're just going to be like, you're going to be living with a backache for the next few months or something like that. One more hack I would really recommend or suggest is to, during your wedding ceremonies, festivities, try and see if you can go for a spa treatment or a massage. Like, take some time out for yourself, just so that you can relax and unwind and gear up for like the next night, or the next that very day that you have another big night planned and things like that. So yeah, I mean, this is basically what it is. It's really about self-care through your own wedding, which we tend to forget because there's so much happening at the end of the day.
So actually, Aparna, taking off from the point of self-care and, us trying to fit into clothes for our wedding day and crash diets and stuff, over time, I think women all over the world are embracing their bodies. They're very comfortable with how they look. And although we want to look our best, on our wedding day, but I feel like for a lot of people now, it's more about, a wholesome diet and sort of incorporating that into our regime in the long run, something that we can sustain, as opposed to, slashing down like 3 dress sizes just for our wedding day, and then putting it all back on.
Yes.
And I feel like designers also have sort of, through their ad campaigns, through their runway shows, have sort of, also incorporated a larger audience and a demographic in terms of sizing, in terms of shape. So what would you recommend to women who are not quintessentially model size and sort of walk into a store and, they probably are overwhelmed with like size 8 and size 10 pieces, and they often don't know what would work for them or what would look good on them, but they just go by, what's being worn on models. So what would you recommend to girls like that?
So the fact of the matter is that, of course, every girl has a vision or a dream of what they want to look like for their wedding. And most often than not, Krishna, it's not imagining themselves, but them imagining what somebody else looked like in that outfit, and that's how they want to see themselves looking at. Yeah. But the fact of the matter is that regardless of what you choose to wear, and regardless of course, there has to be thought that has to be put into the outfit that you are choosing. It cannot be an outfit that a size 0 or a size 2 would wear, as a matter of fact. So that is something that one needs to keep in mind and give enough thought to. But having said that, it is so important to believe. It all comes from, the belief that, yes, this is my special day, and whatever I wear, and if I carry it off beautifully and with confidence, I'm going to look every bit like that person that I have envisaged that I'm going to look like. So it is really about the belief in your own self, that confidence of being able of looking beautiful and believing that I'm going to look a certain way. It really is about that. I have seen, I kid you not, and I'm friends with yes, I am a certain size, but not all my friends are the same size as me. And I have friends who are a bigger size than me and carry off clothes way better than I would. It really is about that mindset, and it really is about, and again, it does boil down to, like you said, it's about self-care. It's about the belief that one has in themselves that, yes, this is my special day. It is about me, and I am going to be the center of attention and the center of focus, and I'm going to look every bit like a dream that I have imagined. And that's all that it takes.
Those were wonderful words. Thank you, Aparna. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you, Krishna. It was lovely doing this. Thank you so much for having me.
Absolute pleasure. Thank you, everyone, for joining us on this discussion today.
Take care. Bye.
Yeah. Bye.